So when we think about this whole issue, and then we try to place it in terms of, for example, spiritualizing matter. There are many systems and spiritual paths around today and have been in the past that spiritualize matter. That would not be the Course position, because if you're spiritualizing matter, you're doing exactly what the Course says can't be done, because the world was not made by God. So you're only adding to the problem. Instead of clearing your mind out of the original error, you're reinforcing that error. The same thing goes with making anything holy or unholy in this world. As the Course says, you can't, the body is neutral, right? And you can't make anything holy or unholy in this world because it simply can't be. In fact, at one point in the workbook, it's in the workbook, isn't it? Where it says, the Course says, there is no world. That's the central teaching of the Course. There's a belief that there is a world, but there can't be anything outside of heaven, because heaven is total reality, total love. What am I investing in this world? And how am I couching and rationalizing things in this world to make me feel better? And one of the major ways we do that, and the temptation is constantly always there, is to separate the sonship into good guys and bad guys. And that's the temptation practically every second of the day. We take the guilt in our mind, and rather than asking for help for the Holy Spirit to let go of that guilt, we project it out, and we see a world of good and bad guys. And all that does is not only reinforce our guilt, but uphold the denial of God, because we are all part of God. And by separating out part of the sonship and blaming part of the sonship for any problem, is just to reinforce the entire world of make-believe. This is only a game we're playing here. And it's very important that we don't make these victims and victimizers and good guys and bad guys, and don't include ourselves either as a victim or a victimizer. Because each time we do that, we will just reinforce our own guilt, and we will never get free of it. And so as we look out on the world and remember that this world was made as a defense against God, and if there was a sign over it, which would say, God cannot enter here. We have to think how in our daily life, every second of every minute of the day, we are making the same error in some clouded form. And it's not easy, because the temptation is always to take sides, especially if you listen to the news. I know that's when all my buttons go off. And you listen to the news, and the temptation is like just instantaneous. Like, that's the bad guy. He just went and raped and murdered, etc. And this is the poor good person or whatever. And as soon as you do that, you reinforce the separation. That original mad thought gets reinforced somewhere in your mind. And you end up blaming part of you, because we're all joined as one. And if I blame you, I blame myself. If I attack you, I attack myself. But the ego doesn't let us know that. And so we end up listening to the ego's voice rather than the Holy Spirit, who would always remind us that we're all joined and we're all one. And that's what I think the Course is asking us to do, to examine everything, all our values. And you can't just do that as a one-shot deal. You have to constantly monitor your mind and see, what are you investing in? What are you valuing? And what are you upholding that's a denial of the truth? And then ask the Holy Spirit to help you change your mind.